Good morning, everyone. Welcome in to an on-time start with Flying with Mike. Yes, mark the calendars. He actually started at 11 Central, 1600 for the rest of you in the world to figure out what time zone you match up to it. But anyway, folks, we are sitting on the ground in Omaha, Nebraska, where we kind of left off Southwest about a month or two ago. And we're going to travel down to Southwest, and I believe, correct me, you Southwest airline nuts out there, correct me, Dallas Love Airport. Time permits, we may continue on to Houston Lobby. Love having fun with that one. So, anyway, folks, we will be flying Southwest in the ZIBO 737. Now, folks, the one thing I always love to talk about this plane, folks, if you're in the Microsoft world, love PMDG, great, I'm glad you do. I just have the same quality for free over an X-plane. So just wanted to throw that at you. Don't mean it as a hard jab, but it is one that X-plane is well versed with. A lot of quality for free. Hate to break it to y'all. But that's okay. To each their own. We all have our own what we likes and don't likes in Sims. So I happen to think X-Plane, I may not have all that lovely eye candy you all get, but I think I have a better platform. But that's okay. We each have our own what we like and what we don't. But again, this is free. But anyway, X-Plane's not. But this is. So you paid for Flight Sim plus PMDG. I played for a Flight Sim and got PMDG, if you will. But I won't insult the ZIBO makers by calling them PMDG because I think it might even be, I will say this, in some areas better than PMDG, but I think PMDG does beat it in other areas. But it's still free. So anyway, folks, you're not forking out an arm, a leg, and kids' arms and a leg. You might even fork a kid out in some of them. But anyway, enough on the debate of flight simming. Let's get up in the cockpit and let's get this bird prepped up and ready to go to Dallas Love Airport. Not Fort Worth. We're going to the other one, folks. All right, so as you can see, looks like a 737. If it looks like a 737, quacks like a 737, must be 737. Sorry, folks, had to go there. All right, let me just uncage the standby gyro. And I think, there we go. A couple more bounces were needed. All right, folks, like you see, 737-800, great airplane. Great performance in this thing. Like I said, if you like PMDG, if you know how to fly a PMDG 737, piece of cake here, folks. Because, like I said, it's a 737. If you can fly one, you can fly them all. All right. So we are at the point where we have powered up. You can tell, there's power on the aircraft. However, we're on the ground power. You know what? Let me check something. Thought in my pre-flight I caught it, but I may not have. Oh, I did. Okay. So we got the battery, the standby power, the AC/DC switch, and I can already hear Hawker cranking up the AC/DC off music in the office. You know, that's the mood he wants set, AC/DC. We've got the IRS in alignment. Actually, I think it may have aligned already. It has. How you can tell is everything's filled in here, folks. But if you're not, if you don't want to take my word for it, oh, look, it is done. So just move it back to PPOS. What I did there, folks, for those of you, and you know what? I flew PMDG, folks, for the better part of 10 years. Didn't know this little trick. So I'm sure what I'm about to say, someone's going to go, what? Yeah, if you come in, you're ready to align your IRSs, as you should, with your checklist, unless you're those kinds of people that go, well, I can't go through that pre-flight. Just takes too much of my time. Well, you shouldn't be flying PMDG if it takes too much of your time, because it does take about 20-30 minutes to get the plane properly set up. But anyway, take the outer dial here. If you roll it all the way to the left where it says HDG, yes, that does stand for heading. STS stands for your status code, heading, status. When you switch into a line down here, it's going to tell you, and it says a line, how long it's going to take to align. Normally 7 minutes. But it tells you that. I did not actually know that, folks, and I've got a lot of hours. PMDG 737, 747, 777. Never knew that trick. And it's not a trick, it's on the real plane too. So, there you go, folks. Nice one, though. Like I said, I did not know that, so I thought I'd spread that wealth to you all as well. Anyway, so we've got that aligned. So we'll come back down here. Finish this up. The cabin utilities, they're right here, are on. They're just switches down. Your equipment cooling is in the normal up position. And the emergency lights, guard down, means they are armed. Exterior lights. All right. Now this is, how I set it up, folks. Everybody likes it a different way in the real world. And Sook, 68, welcome aboard, sir. Hope you enjoy the ride down to Dallas, love. Hope your weekend went well. Let's see. So some people like to turn the wing lights on outside. They're more of an inspection thing at night and ice. But really, a lot don't even turn them on till takeoff. So, it's your call, folks. I do like having, well, you should have at least the wingtips on, your what's called position lights. So that way you're being respectful to the people on the ground and saying, hey, this plane has power on it. Doesn't mean the engines are on, just has power or energized. The logo light, that is exactly that, a logo. So it's advertising. Most airlines want you to turn it on if so equipped and working, because it's also one of the last lights they probably fix. But yeah, so that's your call. Working on down this checklist here, collision lights, that is this one. Now in the 737, 800. I can't, well, NG, so we're talking 6, 7, 8, 900s, okay? And the beloved Max amongst many people. Yeah, okay, I'll leave it there. You have a 3-position switch here. Down, you're just going to have the wingtips and the white light in the tail lit, okay? Up, you're going to have the aforementioned lights and the yellow, or I'm sorry, white strobes going off. Okay. Now, the anti-collision light. Now, in private pilot lingo, anti-collision are the strobes. Okay? 737 loves to do that at you. Kind of jab at the norm. So yeah, they're called anti-collision lights in Pipers, Cessnas, and Beechcrafts. But in Boeing, anti-collision lights are the red lights, which we called rotating beacons in the private pilot world. So, yeah, hey, to each their own. Call, like, you like this sim, I like that sim. So there you go. Awesome. Yes, it is. Great first of the day about that. Anyway, so there you go, folks. A little bit of tongue in cheek with the way Boeing likes to term things. It sucks if you come right out of Piper Cessnas and Beechcrafts into a 737, you're going, any collision lights are not red, they're white. So anyway, but that's what Boeing wants, that's what Boeing gets. Hey, supposedly they make all the big bucks to pay out all the lawsuits. I mean, all of the people to work for their company. We'll go that route. All right, so moving on down the checklist, we are to the point where we're ready to set the FMCs up. And I'm going to go ahead and move this down. Okay, so there we are, folks, Omaha to Dallas. We're not going to run a company route because, folks, it's just too much easier to just put it in than to go through all of that. So we'll just do a Southwest 806. I think that's what I am. Hang on a second. Huh. I hear this all the time from Allegiant pilots. What am I today? And I get it. You fly too many different call letters, they kind of blur together, folks. What are we? Southwest 846. I was close, but still incorrect. All right, next page. And I'm going to show you just how tough this one is. OVR. And that is a, believe, Offutt, but it's Omaha's VOR. And see, north. I'm going to do this so I can read it a little easier. North by west. Okay, so I believe we're going to have 1630, but it's time to use coordinates to just verify because they're both on the same hemisphere. 4116. Did I click the right one? There we go. By 95. Yeah, we'll go with this one. And it is 1630. Good. All right. Always good to start off with the first one being right. Now let's move on. JHAWK. Finally, I told you this was a tough one, folks. HITUG. That should be the start of the Cricket 1. Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and activate, execute. All right, so we're going to come back to the route page, and I'm going to go to the legs real quick. We're just going to look at it, even though we have hardly any information in here. First off, there is no SID out of here. So really, as long as we get to HITUG correctly, we'll be joining the Cricket 1, and traveling in. All right, so we'll just step through this. I'm not even going to change the distancing. Yeah, that's all correct. And actually, we'll leave it there. Now, we're not going to click here and go arrivals and this and that. Nope, doesn't work that way in the Boeing world. So go back to route, go to departure. Now we click departure. Okay, now we have these two. However, they are strictly straight outs and then you vector. We can do that on our own without a star or a SID. All right, so winds here in Omaha. 350 at 17, gusting to 26. And we in St. Louis would wish you would turn that fan off in Omaha so it quits being so windy down here, too. Anyway, we're going to use 32 left. I believe that's the one closest, yeah. All right, and we're going to execute. All right, so that takes us to here. All right, we go to legs. And you can see it connected. All right, now we'll go to the departure arrival page. Start with the Cricket. Gonna have to go down because I gotta hit next page. Oh, there's HITUG. Sorry, I went right by it. I haven't decided yet. I think, well, we have ATC up, so let me see. I did see ATC down there. Let me refresh my SimAware screen, which I am not a big fan of. All right, Dallas Love arrivals are going to be simultaneous visuals to 1-3 left and 1-3 right in use. Cool, so I can take whichever one I want. So I say. I don't think they're going to work that way. Well, so I'm going to leave it at this for now till I get in closer and get a better read on what Dallas is doing. For all I know, we may be having troubles and we may not be able to stay on VATSIM. So, that's been up, we have run into that. All right, so let's bump it up one. All right, so we'll see. But we are taking 3-2 left out of Omaha. Okay, we checked our routing. Let's go through it one more time just to make sure. All right, so where's HITUG? To SSLD, rubber, chicken, venue, repay, Cuban, finger, slant, cricket. And oh, what do we have here? Flying glider? Welcome aboard. Thank you for following. We appreciate you coming aboard. Hope you enjoy today's flight, and thank you for being a part and supporting Flying with Mike. Look forward to seeing you on our next run, which will be tentatively Thursday. I don't know what Wednesday will hold for us. I've got some extra things at work to do, but for sure, we'll see you Thursday. Thanks for the follow. Okay, so everything's lined up to cricket. Cricket's where we begin to set up for whatever runway we're heading for. I'm just looking to see if it's specifying. No, it is not. Nope, no specifications. So cool. All right, it's been a while since I've flown into Dallas Love, so this ought to be fun. All right. So we got all of this good fun stuff in here. Let's go ahead, click Route Copy, and it's copied, you see there. All right, let's continue this now. Let me straighten this up because it's crooked. There we go. Give me just in case I need more. All right, so we'll go to the performance initialization. At this point, let's take a look. We haven't gone through the flight yet. Let's pull up Sim Toolkit. Okay. If you haven't done it yet, folks, quick plug for it, folks. Outstanding utility here for you. Provides a lot of information right at your fingertips. And, oh, by the way, like the PMDG-like aircraft here called ZIBO in X-Plane, it's free. So, really, but this will work not only in X-Plane, but in all of the sims. So it also provides you information on VATSIM, POSCON, Pilot's Edge. It also, as you can tell, the wind maker up here, providing the weather. Yeah, this sucker's giving a lot of wind here in the Midwest. And then our next system right here coming ashore. So, and it's nice, but it also, I've got a live map. It's been sporadic for me. I don't know about the rest who use this in showing everything out here. Like right now, I'm thinking it's not gonna lock in. So I don't know what causes that. But again, I can see all the VATSIM minus the controllers right now until this thing fully loads. You can plan your flights. You can, if you're in Omaha and you're going, where do I want to fly, Muffy? Well, up top here, there's yours, what you've saved. Then you can look by airports, airplanes, and if you have a specific route, or search for an airline. So, a lot of stuff there. Then your logbook, your fleet. I've never used this one, so I don't know what this does. But anyway, a lot. And then you get down here, and if you do any kind of streaming work, YouTube or Facebook or Twitch, tools are here for you. Data, a whole litany of, it's why it's called Sim Toolkit. So check it out, folks. It is free, like I said. Okay, so we're here. METAR here in Omaha. 340 at 18. So it has, this is as of, oh, this is old. 1442. We're now at 1600. So this is an hour old. I think I saw on Sky Vector 350, but you get the point, folks. It's clear skies, 10 miles visibility, and the temperatures are not bad, 11 degrees Celsius. Translates out into the upper 50s, low 60s. You guys in Europe and Canada can let me know directly exactly what that is, but that gives you the ballpark for us in the U.S. Because we just have to be that way. We have to be different. All right, again, over an hour old. Winds 104. Got a broken layer at 19,000. So, folks, no ceiling to worry about. No visibility issues. Beautiful day into Dallas. It's 18 degrees there on the Celsius scale and 3,000. So, again, but they do have Virga. What Virga is, for those not meteorologically, or what some would say meteorologically challenged, it's raining, but it's not reaching the ground. So from 19,000 feet, it's raining, but it's not reaching the ground because there were no other clouds. Wait a minute, were there? Let me double check. Yeah, there were no other clouds. So, yeah, we'll see what it really is when we get there. And again, it's an hour old. So, loadout today, 149 people signed their NDAs that they won't sue me for the way I fly. 29,800 for the payload, and the ZFW is 124,843 in the pounds. Man, a lot of pilots go, man, I wish I could get my passengers to do that. Anyway, fuel, 16,000, little over 800 pounds in there. Dispatch being a little stingy with the cost index, giving us only 17, but allowing us at least to go to 17,000. Cost index is a variety of airline requirements for the flight. Are we going to run it early? Are we going to run it late? If it's running late, usually you get a faster run. Running early, they might back you off, save some money, make some money for the airline, you know, and then throw the weather on top of it. So a lot of factors that computers chew up there at any one given airline to come up with that number. But some do run with standard numbers for the most part, a range of, we'll say like 30 to 40 or 200 to 210, depending on type of aircraft. All right, so we've gone through. Now you guys have an idea. Let's take a look at some things here. Oh, that helps to put Omaha on the map. There we go. All right, there's the route real quick, folks. Again, very simple. OVR, JHAWK, HITUG. Grab the ILS. Or, I'm sorry, grab the Cricket 1. Come on in. Now, SimBrief planned us to the left side. If I can, I'm going to try to get us to the right side. Only because it's a shorter taxi. But we'll see how things pan out. I have a feeling ATC is going to aim us for the left side, just because. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So there you have it. Real quick though, a neat little feature. Now what's built in here? Again, Sim Toolkit. I've added NavGraph here and Sky Vector. You do that right here with this cog. Fill in the blanks. But anyway, a neat little feature I just actually learned was here today. And I forget how I did. It was by accident. I'll tell you that right now. Now, you all think you can't see anything, right? Well, keep zooming. Keep zooming. Keep zooming. Look at that. If you don't have your chart set up to, you know, like right now I have it to go to the airport so I can see my taxis. But let's say you don't. Boom. You're down here and it's already got all your taxiways. So when the ATC guy thinks he's all hot stuff. He goes, oh, and he's on ground. He goes, taxi Kilo to Alpha to Foxtrot to Papa. But where the hell's Papa? Oh, it's not on the chart. Anyway, yeah, you can do that and follow what he's saying and get an idea where you are versus what he said. The only downside, and I know there's more improvements coming to this Charts 8 program, weather, maybe traffic, maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I read that in the opening when they first released their opening salvo of releases with it. But yeah, there's more to come. It's a neat little thing. And real quick, I'll show you another neat little thing with Sim Toolkit. Doesn't matter if you're on live map or what is this one called? Flight summary. Same thing. And this one, however, will show traffic. Matter of fact, I personally recommend you come here first, zoom in, see if anybody is in green where you plan to spawn in. That way you don't spawn in on top of them. Being that guy or girl or gal. But for us, we're going to basically push back facing towards the south, take Gulf over here, Fox, what are we going to, hang on, BC, is that our best route? Yeah, we'll just come up and get on the 3, or we could, you know what, we'll just do that. We'll face south, get on Gulf, get on Fox, follow it down, cut over here at Delta, onto Alpha to the end of the runway. How's that sound for a taxi brief? But again, zooming in on either map here, folks, will give you that. So again, if you don't have it quick and handy, that's a quick way to get to it. Okay, enough talk. Let's get this thing going. So we saw the 0 fuel weight. Should be, well, actually, we need to load the plane first. Why don't we do that first? Y'all up for that? I think so. All right, over here, let's get the payload page opened. Payload is 29,800. Let's see how close that gets us. Usually, most right on the nose. And then by using these arrows, just put your mouse over them. 24, oh, I think that's the right number. 24,843, perfect. All right, then we just go back. Oh, wait, no, we don't. We go here, and then we look for fuel. And we're going to put on 16,814. Okay, and then click fuel. And start.
Ground flight deck hose is connected and starting refueling.
Perfect. There we go. We'll get the flight crew doing their thing. Right, folks, we're about to start loading people. So let's get a little further along here. We can't go very far. So I like to do this once we do have all our information in. You'll see what we're going to do here. But we can put in our proposed fuel. 16.8. And then we'll also know when it's full that way. While we're doing this, we can fill in most of this. Okay, so our 0 fuel is 124. Actually, all we do is click right like that. That looks like PMDG, doesn't it, folks? Estimated reserve today. All right, we call bingo if we hit, let's see, alternate is 4.3. Okay, 3 point, so 4.3, looks like 7.7. Yep, 7.7. And again, that is 7,000 700 pounds. We got to be able to make Houston, folks. And our cruise today, 3-7. Our winds, 303 at 72. All right, our top of climb. That isn't helping me any bit, so we'll not worry about it. And once we're full, folks, we're only about 4,000 pounds off, then we can push on. Right, but we'll continue our other checks. All right, so we can go up here. Hang on, let me make sure I moved that back. I did. Real quick, that test's good. And we'll do our fire check. Okay. And while we wait, it should be done here momentarily. I think it was 16:30. Yeah. All right, there's Omaha. All right, and how we doing on fuel? Getting there. All right, so finishing it up. All right. Probe heats are off. Anti-ice off. Electric pumps on. Let's see, off, engine pumps on. That's right here. Inners are the electric. Your outers are your engines. Fuel pumps are off at the moment. Trim air is on. Circulating cabins are all set to auto. Circulators are off. Okay, I'm sorry, auto. And lead valves are on. Cruise altitude set. Landing altitude set. And we'll be putting in the rest of the performance data here in a moment. Should be winding down here in a moment. One thing I will say I don't like about 737s, I don't like that the gauging is here. I wish, like the 767, and I would then...
Right, that fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
Cool, thanks for flying with Mike. I wish they could incorporate it up here where we're able to see our numbers, see our pumps. The 6.7, and I'm assuming the 5.7, you can do that. You'll have that same gauge, is all up there. I really like that, folks. That is really awesome. And we'll do a quick crossfeed check. Went light blue, back to dark, and it should go out. Good. All right, so that takes care of that. Gonna go ahead and fire up the EPU now. Real simple. Airbus is a little simpler, but you know, hey, they're all pretty easy. Go to start. Okay, got the light. Should be a light for flap open, but you can hold it for a count of 3. And then you'll see it winding up. But it's a simple, straightforward, easy process, folks. It doesn't matter what plane you're flying, by the way. Okay, let's get our left fuel pump on. And okay, so we're just waiting on the EPU to settle down. There's our blue light saying the gen's available. And we can go off ground power. Here come the packs. All right, so seatbelt sign on. Whoop, wrong one. Did you get all that, folks? Make sure your seatbelts are on. All right, so we got one more thing to do. And Jason, Hawker, you can go ahead, fire up your AC/DC music as we move the AC/DC switch. All right, now all we got left to do is finish up the FMC. I'd just like it to be fully set up while the people are coming on. We'll go to N1. Now you're going, how in the Lord are we supposed to figure this out? It's not here. How do we know which takeoff do we do, which climb? Because basically all we're doing here, folks, if you did a takeoff right here, no, you're looking at 98.1% coming out your engine. The lower we go, the less that number. Let me see if the latest and greatest update I have aboard here, if it's able to do this. We're going to go 3-2 left. It's dry. Winds are, oh my God, what are they? 350 at 17. 350. Back. 350 at 7. Okay, so you type in 350. The slash is what your at sign would be. Then you hit enter when you get the winds. Temperature here was 11, I believe. Oh, now we're up to a balmy 12. Oh my. Oh my. 2092. So we got a nice standard. Well, we can put it in there. If you want to put it in the US way of doing things, just make sure you put the period in. And look, it switched. All right. And take off weight. Take off weight. Stand by. All you got to do is go back. Payload. 141.1. And we're not getting anything to... Oh, we don't have the CG entered. Oh, do we get that? Yes, we do. 21.2. All right. I'm thinking we're not going to get anything, folks, but they may not have gotten it to that point yet. Nope. Yeah, we're not getting it. All right. Hopefully one day we'll get a page 2 to this with our information to put in over here. For now, that's all we get. Okay. Now, I run a payware program called Professional Flight Planner X. And yes, it was set up for X, not X-plane, FSX. Yeah, it goes way back, folks. Been using it for flight planning. SimBrief came along. I don't use it as much anymore, but it's a phenomenal program. But when you buy it and you bundle it with what's called TopCat, takeoff performance and takeoff and landing performance charting, oh my goodness, what a team they are. But regardless, PHFP, Professional Flight Planner, can do it all. TopCat just gives you the ability to, what's the conditions now? Make that, you know, your takeoff speeds and landing speeds. And let me show it off, because I love doing that. Oh man, I left Sim Toolkit up. Doggone it. Alright, so you see what we filled in here, folks. Alright, anyway, we can do this now. TopCat, TopCat, TopCat. Where are you? There you are. Alright, so TopCat also comes with an ACARS program, which I just accidentally clicked on. Alright, so you can see what we did. We imported it from Professional Flight Planner. The two are tied together. It's a little cheaper when you bundle them. But anyway, I digress. We go to takeoff. 3-2 left out of Omaha. And we'll hit the update button, see how bad the winds are. Good, they're like they should be. Everything's looking good. We're going to run with the anti-ice on. We're above the 10-degree threshold, but I'm going to keep it on for safety. All right. And when dispatch set this up, they had us at 39 on our select temperature. All right, so what am I talking about with select? I don't know if we'll be able to see that just yet. I may have to. I think you can see it now. Nope, a little further. All right, we'll go just that far. If no, we'll do the best we can. For now, we'll show it off. Okay. We'll click the buttons in a minute. All right, so as you can see on TopCat, here's all of our runway data, which we can put in here if it's asked. Okay. You just got to want to go to page 2 sometimes. A lot of simmers don't. So, when I clicked compute here, this is what came up. 38, which will yield us 1,419 feet of runway left. So technically, 1,400 feet of the runway should be remaining when our wheels leave the ground, if the performances match up. I mean, we're talking a lot of data here, folks, that has to mesh. Real world, it does. They know their airplanes, they know their weights, they know all of that good stuff. Sim world, they're off a little bit. So, do I expect to be off the ground 1,500 feet or so by the end of the runway? No, I'll probably be off a lot sooner. But it's good numbers to work with, because we're going to go with a 38 up here with a TO2 D rate. Okay, then we'll put 38 up here. 38. Boom. Okay, and climb. I think climb 2. Basically, what we're doing, folks, if you don't understand this, the easiest way to do it, because I'm not an engineer, is basically, instead of running that $1 million engine at 100% power, 100% of the time on takeoff, we're pulling it back to 88%, almost 89% for takeoff. Plenty of speed, as you're about to see, plenty of power. We're trying to save it as long as possible to get closer to that major overhaul that occurs, or major inspections, trying to keep it in cycle as long as possible. That's the whole reason we don't run them at full power. Climb is the same thing. You're going to climb at a certain power rating, which whatever climb 2 is going to yield us. As we reach the threshold for climb 1, it automatically switches into it because there's no change in power. Same when it reaches climb. They automatically switch into them. The whole deal, again, not running them constantly at or above 100% power. Yes, you heard me say they can, in the right conditions, run above 100% power. I can hear you. You can't do that, man. That's just not possible. Well, welcome to the world of Jedi. Did you ever watch some of your big sci-fi things? Well, even some of your big nuclear subs and stuff like that movies where I need 115% on there. I can only give you 105. Give me 115 now. You ever heard that? Yeah. That happens, folks. It's again, we're trying to save. The one thing you don't want to shut down at 35,000 feet are engines. So we're trying to save them. Keep them going as long as we can before inspection times. Save that wear and tear as much as possible. So that's the whole behind this. Now, you want an engineer's dialogue on that? There's other channels for that. I'm not going into that because it puts me to sleep. All right, next up is takeoff. First, click the line select by CG. This looks familiar to PMDG guys, doesn't it? All right, here's where I talked about. If you go to page 2, you can refine this. Most simmers, oh, it takes you too long to do that, man. We got to get in the air. Got to go. Page 2. 350, it does not take very long to fill out the paperwork, folks. All right, now I will give them. This one took me a long time to learn. What was the format for this? It doesn't tell you. It's either U. Oh, wait, there is none. Cool. There is no slope here. So we just put a backslash in, put the runway heading in, 322. Oh, and if you really want to find out how to do this runway slope, folks, read the manual. It will tell you. But most of the sims, up until these X-Plane 11, I don't know if it even had sloping. I'll be honest. Yeah, it did. But FSX didn't. Prepared doesn't. I don't know about Microsoft because I don't have it. And I can tell you X-Plane 12 has it because Anchorage is, so is Skagway. But you're not going to go into Skagway with this plane. God help you if you do. I don't think you'll get it out. All right, and then you can set your one-way wet, dry, contaminated. Boy, that took a lot of work, didn't it, folks? We're back to here. All right, so the top cat, again, is saying flaps 1. Guess what? There's your speeds. Now, do they match? Hey, they're not far off. Oh, sorry for the sniffle. All right, so 144, I think we'll take that. 146, that's a good number. 150, see, they match this time. Sometimes they don't, folks. And 1,419 feet of runways. What we're looking at, 87.8 will be our N1 for takeoff. And then all you do, if you don't want to keep seeing these, click this QRH off, and they go away. Pretty simple, huh, folks? Didn't take long. The longest that's going to take today is me firing up ACARS, which I'm doing now, so that we can finish the flight planning or getting this plane ready, because, folks, it's ready. All right, now I haven't heard the flight attendants say all the people are aboard. Doesn't surprise me. But we're going to continue on. So we've got the flight plans all loaded in, and we're ready to rock and roll. Okay, current bid, and we're going from Omaha. It's that one, fly. Oh, the allergies. Okay, everything looks good here. Just need to get my plane. Oh, we're still... Yeah, it actually loaded up pretty close to what we have on the plane. We're going to 37. And all I need now is to get rid of Top Cat and get my flight plan in here real quick. Is it? There it is. It's already in there. Cool. All right, folks, so we are now ready to go. Just one click here away, click that, and start flight. Oh, all right. So we're going to move up here. We're going to fill in the blanks up here real quick. Blanks being, let's put the flight directors on. Speed, 150, so it's 160 is what I'll put. I always like V2 plus 10. One, because it's very easy to put that in. Runway heading, 322. And I'm going to set 5,000 momentarily. Pull up my, we don't have a departure. That's nice. That's right, we don't. All right, so basically, folks, for this flight, we are going to take off runway heading. We're going to climb to 5,000, and we're going to go direct OVR. What we're going to do is turn right, heading whatever it takes to go direct. I don't know what that is, but we'll go out about a couple of miles, bank to the, I'm sorry, left turn to OVR. Okay, and head on down to Dallas. Okay, let's get over here again. Set our minimums. Okay. Now we'll put it at 400. The good thing is everything I'm setting here, folks, sets on the first officer side. All right, and landing gears down, 3 green. Spoilers down, flaps are showing up, and parking brake set. Fuel levers are cut off. Stave trims are good. We've done our flight checks and we're ready to go. We'll set everything up. Oh, heading wise. What is our heading? There we go. That'll be the best we can do. All right, so we're ready to go, folks. Let's light this firecracker and get going. Yaw damper on. Let's before we get rid of the jet bridge, be nice if we close the doors. Okay, clean slate. This is your doors right here, folks. And let's get better pushback on its way.
Flight attendants prepare for departure, cross-check and all call, thank you.
Alright, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Okay, doors closed.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Okay, there goes the jet bridge away. Here comes our tug. All right, folks, I want to thank you all for flying with Mike. We are up on the ACARS system for Millennium Aviation, and we are ready to go. Let's get those chocks out of the way real quick. And they are indeed out of the way. Now we'll turn the anti-collision rotating beacon on.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Cleared to connect. Must push back tail facing south, or nose facing south. Okay. Yaw dampers. Alright, so we need the B system on up here. Fuel pumps on. Packs off.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Brakes released again, face south.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, we're going to start number 2 first. Packs have to be off, fuel on, and we're starting. At about between 17 and 25% N2, you can bring the fuel lever to idle. Once you see fuel flow here, you'll see the EGT coming up. The engine is spooling.
Oxygen mask will drop in the compartment overhead. Immediately stop screaming. Let go of your neighbor. Pull down on the mask until the plastic tubing is fully extended. Place the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. Please be aware the bags may not inflate your so.
All right, we are going to wait till we finish our pushback and then start up number 1. While we're doing this, though, let's go ahead and switch on the generators for number 2.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Brake set. Show me the pins on the right side.
Stand by.
Okay, turning on number 1. Same procedure, folks. Make sure the pack is off. Fuel is on, and turn it to ground, waiting for 17. Okay, there we go, lighting off.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
All right, thanks for flying with Mike. Okay, real quick, let me bring the generator online while he gets over there. Cool. In case he can't see us from the cockpit. All right, let's finish up. All right, so. Okay, engines 1 and 2 gens are indeed on. Next up on the list, System A. Move this to generator 2 for today's flight. Probe heat on. And anti-ice, we're going to go with engines, like I said. Packs on. Okay, EPU bleed off, and we are on the gen, so we can do that. Taxi checks real quick. Flaps 1. That was pretty easy. I forgot to connect. I think it's 846. 846. Yeah, of late we've had some troubles with VATSIM again. I don't know if it's continuity issues on my end, their end, what ends, I have no idea. But yeah, we've had some troubles. That's why I made that mention earlier. Alright, taxiway runway lights, real quick. Engine starts to continuous. Next up, auto brakes. Set those to reject, which is down. Okay, auto okay, TCAS going to TARA. TARA, and heading bugs are set, right? Heading 322, we're set, and VNAV, RNAV, let's get going. Let's do a quick check of the controls. Left aileron. Left up, right down. Left, right up, right down. Okay, put that back to engine. Here we go. And away we go, folks. All right, folks. So short break here. We'll head over to the runway and we'll be back with you there. Finish up the final checks. And for those curious, yes, we did set the time different on here. We're taking off as close to the scheduled departure time of the real flight. I think we're late, but that's what we're trying to do anyway, and not have to look it up again what time. And this was Sunday's flight. There wasn't one this morning. As that big yellow ball heads into the sky. Okay, looks like the FMC is going to have us turning right to head to OVR. You may just follow that. All right, folks, we are coming up to the end of the runway here. I really do want to say thank you for being a part of the Flying with Mike. It really, it does still amaze me that 3 years ago we started this up, and I'm just amazed that there are people willing to come aboard and have fun. It just amazes me, and I want to say thank you. I mean, it's nothing short of what I do. It's all to the Lord that does this for me. So, but I do want to say thank you, and you are much appreciated, and we hope to see you on continuing flights here. And coming up to the hold short, I haven't heard anyone chime on me, so I'm pretty sure would have a. Is that Kansas City that has them, or is that Minnesota? I do know. Who has? Oh, we are in Minneapolis territory, and nobody seems to be awake. Are you still loading? There we go. Right, here we go, folks. Omaha traffic, Southwest 846 departing 32 left. Okay, now we take the switch up, folks.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Cabin's ready. Alright, let's get our lights on. Throttling up. Timer on. Toga. Airspeed alive. 80 knots.
80 knots.
V1. Rotate. V2.
V1. Rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up.
$1,000.
Alright, we're gonna nose over. Gear off. Flyby. And let's get the autopilot on. Alright, and it is to go right. Okay. Roger, up to flight level 370, Southwest 846. Hey, flaps coming up. RTO off. All right, and now we are direct. Okay, we're VNAV, RNAV, or okay. Some fun things you can do here, folks. The lights. You can have fun with the lights, even though during the day they're pretty useless. But anyway, hey, it's, you know.
10,000 feet.
Okay, we'll get the lights here in just a second. Alright, so lights off. Everything's off. We're looking good. All right, folks, just kind of sit back, relax, enjoy the ride as we climb out of Omaha. All right, folks, so I hope you're enjoying the ride. We currently have 1 hour to go to Dallas. We'll see how things are when we get down there. We just might, like I said, head on down to Houston. So we'll kind of play that by ear when we get there, as they say. So, hope y'all enjoy. It's been fun so far as we climb out of Omaha over the Missouri-Kansas area headed to Dallas. All right, folks, let's keep on going here. We're at 27,000, 10,000 to go to cruise. And really not a lot going on, folks. Very windy here in St. Louis, so if you want to try your hand out at windy approaches, any of the St. Louis airports would be fun. Of course, choose the correct airplane for the correct airports. But, yeah, it's pretty nice and copacetic as we head into May. That's right, folks, we're already to May. How many of you are right now saying, man, when was New Year's Eve? Well, that could be a whole different story. There could be some alcohol that clouded that night up. But anyway, yeah, we're getting close to halfway through the year, folks. So summer is coming upon us, although taking its time like always here in the Midwest. Everyone's going, oh, it's just never like that before. Yeah, we probably just never really gave it a thought, you know, but it probably was. Forecasters kind of like to fudge numbers and make it out to be worse than it is, because let's just be real, folks, their news is no news. As much as I love weather, it really isn't news. So, but yeah, it's May, folks, so it's time for the May flowers. May the 4th be with you coming up. And, of course, most people's favorite, Cinco de Mayo, the day after. But of course we can't forget it's also Mother's Day, folks, and don't say you weren't reminded if you're listening to Flying with Mike. It'll come up on you quicker than you believe. For me, it's always, I can never remember which Sunday in the month of May it is. Because it seems to go a little bit later. Wait a minute. No, a little bit earlier than I expect in the month of May, but Father's Day seems to be like, well, you know, maybe it's going to be in June. So, but Mother's Day, it just, I don't know, just doesn't seem to sync up right with me in remembering which Sunday it is of the month. So, oh, but we'll just again remember, you can't say to Mom, I kind of forgot. No, if you listen to this show, you haven't, as I just told you. So, don't forget moms out there, folks. And here in the Midwest, probably a good bet to when you can start planting those plants and all for sure outside. My wife said it, I think, pretty well. Mother's Day on. Because we do get every now and then that cold snap that comes through. Not sure if we just went through what would normally come in the first weeks of May, calling. One of the forecasters here like to call it a blackberry winter or something to that effect. Don't fully understand it, but hey, I'm not necessarily meant to understand a lot of things, so I just know it had something to do with the blackberries either blooming or in season or something like that we might get a late season frost. So that's here in the St. Louis area. Where you're at, who knows? But yeah, folks, we are now into spring full bore. Well, we were in April, but now we're getting more to spring summer. So enjoy the days, because soon you'll be grumbling, oh man, it's winter again. So, enjoy the ride, folks. We got about 45 minutes. I'll probably get into this arrival brief. I'm still flipping the coin. It's not landing on the runway I want to use, no. As to which one we're going to come in on. I'm really wanting 13 right. But I don't know. So enjoy the ride, folks. We'll just kind of sit here on monitoring the chat room and hoping you all have a great day.
1,000 to go.
All right, folks, back with you here. And let's go ahead bring into the fray charts. This is the standalone version, not that which I've coupled into Sim Toolkit. Okay, you can see where we are. Headed down here, just passing JHAWK, headed for HITUG, sorry. And then on to our arrival. And no, I haven't decided yet. Doing that right now. I'm going to just go ahead and go over to DATIS and see what we can see over here. And I'll get you that link here. Basically, you just type the exclamation mark, the word ATIS. Oop, I forgot you got to put the word DATIS, sorry. And what that is, folks, it's a real world application, okay? Not necessarily, okay, what I'm going to is, it's basically the ATISs that are out at many of the major airports in the U.S. And its territories. Now, this also extends abroad to Europe, the Pacific. You'll see D in front of the ATIS. I don't know how to find those, but I can tell you this website, datis.cloud.io, will get you into the database to see what the ATIS is ahead of you at the airport you're going to. When you go there, you'll click select your facility. We're going to DAL. I am not certain. They do. I didn't look at the chart. Here, I'll show you what it looks like on the chart here in a second. Well, why don't we do it real quick here? When I pull up Cricket 1, up here, you see how it says D ATIS? That's when you could go to that website and en route start getting a feel for what the runway's flying. You know, Atlanta and Orlando love to say north ops, south ops, east ops, west ops. Some, you know, airports are very specific like that. That helps you out immensely. Okay, so we're going to be coming in, you know, this certain way. Well, Dallas, now I'm not talking DFW again, folks. We're not going there. We're going to the other airport, Love Field. As of 1653, I think this may be dated a little bit. Coming up on an hour old, so it's not as bad as we had going out. They're calling it 110 at 9, gusts to 15, so it's a little breezy. 10 miles clear. Perfect. Currently, and still, when we checked this earlier, simultaneous visual approaches in effect, 13 left, 13 right. They have NOTAMs up for certain taxiways closed, and so forth. But again, this is what you would hear on the ATIS when you got within range. Here, you could do this in Anchorage if you're in a Southwest. Well, I guess, yeah, Southwest could probably make it. But anyway, you could check your ATIS as anywhere, because all you got to do is go on the internet for it. All right. So again, our approaches are 13 left, 13 right. Pretty cool. Only center up is Houston right now. So they may control us going into Houston, but definitely not Dallas. All right, so as you can see, the Cricket 1 is up. I am going to go ahead then and plan for 13 right. And either one I pick, we're gonna go just do the Yankee. So we'll come off Cricket, head to Lippy, join the ILS. Kind of, maybe not. Look how close that is to the DFW operations. Ooh. Hang on, we're... If I fly the RNAV, we stay away. See how this really helps here, folks? See how that's showing us? We may... This may actually push us over to the left side just because of the interference with DFW. Well, for now, since we're not real world, let's look at DFW. Similar. How busy? The mascot is not happy that trucks are going by. All right, looks like we should be okay. We'll go ahead and plan 13 right, but we'll be ready for a change. All right, so for now, I'll tell you this RNAV right here, folks. It's got me thinking big time. You know what? Yeah, let's do it. We're going to do this one. We're going to come off slant. All right, so we're coming off slant to opaque, to Biney, Camso, and into Dallas, okay? All right, so how do we... We'll take it now to the FMC. Hang on, let's see if I can get this in a position where you'll be able to see it. Okay. All right, we'll do the best we can from here. All right. Here we go. All right, so we're coming into Dallas. We'll do the arrival. We've already got the cricket up. And I'm going to do the RNAV Yankee. So what we're going to do is look for RNVY 13 right. 13 right. This page. Here it is. Slant. Execute. I said execute. Back to route, and then we're going to go to legs. And we're going to double check this. Okay, from slant. Hey, wait a minute. Slant. The cricket. No. There we go. So from slant, where we'll divert, we'll get altitudes and all, we're going to head to opaque. Just across the fix. Good enough. Opaque, Biney, Camso. Is that showing? Okay, it's not. Let's see. Is it showing on my chart? Yes. Oh, that's the airport. Okay. I thought it was before. Okay, and then there's our airport, and then here's our missed approach out to Dumpy. Okay, so it's basically Ecto to Dumpy, and then we go into a nice hold. Okay, now if this was Airbus, we could continue on and see our route to Houston. It's not. To be honest, to be fair, not trying to poke a hole at Boeing, may not be set up that way. That may be something to do with setting up a secondary flight plan, which looks a little more complicated here than Airbus. But again, do it a couple times is just as easy. All right, so HITUG. Now, let's get these charts in here, shall we? Cricket. Okay, we come in at HITUG, we're fine. Slide, rubber, chicken, venue. Venue is when we're gonna have to look. 280 between 24 and 30,000. Okay, so we'll be 280. Okay, perfect. Then we're coming down to finger. So we'll go repay, Cuban, finger. That's our hard altitude of 9,000 feet, folks. 250 on the speed. It's not saying maximum. It's not saying up to whatever you want. Don't go past 250. No, it says at 250. Okay. If you want to have some fun, there's a YouTube video out there about that in New York with JetBlue and New York ATC. Should be real world, but it may not be. But anyway, it's quite hilarious in some ways, and in other ways you're just like, oh my god, really? So that all looks good. So there's slant at 9,000. Okay, well, let's now go to the RNAV, and I'm working just here for now. APEC, Biney. Let me see. Biney is 2,300 feet. At or above. As we descend down to Camzo at 2,000. I'm going to switch that. That's not an at or above. And that is 5 mile final. What are we showing? 157. That's a good speed. Despiz is right there. All right, so the altitudes and the speeds all look good. Okay. So for the RNAV approach. Okay, D-ATIS, again, we went over this. Regional approach, Love Tower, Love Ground. RNAV, so there is no, hang on a second, folks, that's kind of driving me nuts as tight in as we are on that. There we go, that'll be better. Okay. Alright, so 2,000 at Camzo. So our RNAV means there's no frequency, but we do have a final approach course, but only 5 miles worth. Again, keeping us out of DFW traffic as much as possible. So from Biney to Camzo is where we will be the closest to their traffic. Our minimum descent altitude is 920 feet. Minimum descent height 441. What's the difference? I get this question, believe it or not, a lot. Bold is MSL, mean sea level. So think of it as 920 feet above sea level. Okay. The parentheses is 441 feet above the ground below you. So We're above sea level, that would be your altimeter, because that's how your altimeter reads. Your above the ground level is how your radar altimeter reads. Okay, they're both, folks, in reality, the same height. Just how they're being read is what's different. What is the measurement being used is the difference. So there's our missed approach. There's our requirements. Transition, of course, 18,000. We're offset 8, almost 9 degrees off course coming in. Keep that in the back of your mind when you're doing this approach. You're going to, at some point, kick it for the runway. You're also on a descent angle of 2.96. Normally it's a 3. So you're actually a little pulled up on this one. So we're going to be right at ish 800 feet-ish a minute. And I say ish because we haven't figured that up yet. So Bine is 2,300 feet or above, descending to 2,000 for Camzo. Then ease on down at 2.96. Now you all say, well, that ain't a lot. 0.96 on a glide path, folks, is somewhat noticeable. You're not going to be as, it's a flatter approach for those 5 miles. And then 0.7 miles from Despy is the missed approach point. Whether we see the runway, if we do, we continue. If we don't, you're supposed to go around, especially on an RNAV, because you don't have technically everything there with you. Minimums, which are not a factor today, but if there were, you know, weather, as long as we're 441 feet with a ceiling, so say we have broken clouds at 500, we're still above minimums. Ceiling wise, as long as our visibility, we're performance C aircraft, we have more than 1 mile and 3/8, we're good. So, or an RVR 58 or 55, sorry. All of those, we're good to continue. Any of those not met, guess what? You either, if your minimums are not above, or not, if you're not above minimums, there we go, I'll get it out eventually. If you're not above minimums at your departure point before your arrival point in any terminal forecasts, you sit until you are. That's where the delays come in, folks, that we all hate. Weather related. So even though these planes can shoot, right down to 0, folks, the runways, the airports, the pilots, the aircraft all have to be actually certified to do that. And I'm finding out more and more, there's a lot of them that aren't. That, the aircraft would be capable, but the pilots aren't being trained up to that, which is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. They're just gonna sit, and that's the way that it's safe. The airplane isn't in the air, folks, and you're sitting on the ground, you're safe. Look at it that way. All right, so there you go with the charts. Real quick, you should now be able to see over here, top of descent, 100 miles away. Now, let's head over. One way we can figure out our landing data. Okay, we're coming into Dallas. Love, KDAL. 13 right. Okay, wind. Stand by, folks. Now I got a variable wind. Okay, what's going on here? When did that one come in? Hang on. That is as of 1753. Okay, current time, that's 3 minutes ago. Holy mackerel, the weather changed like that? It's variable. Okay. Well, I am going to go Top Cat. I'll bring it in here in a minute. They're showing variable at 3. 130 at 3 is what I'm going to put. You'll see why here in a minute. Temperature, we're showing 22. Pressure, 2997. We're coming in flaps 30, air conditioning on, and we'll have it's already off brakes. Let's go auto brakes 3. And I got my VREF of 5, estimating the landing weight. Back. $134.84. That could be right now. Okay. So let's put in, say, 133.0. See, this is what I was looking for on the takeoff page. Still not showing. All right, now this is in meters, unfortunately. But we're looking right now at a VREF, which is our landing speed, plus 5, 147. So we're going to come in around 150, 55 frame so that we can land slowing down at 147, touching down. And according to this, we'll be about 3/4 of the way down the runway. See how this is a real nice chart to work with. All right. Okay, let's bring in Top Cat. That's what I was using to fill this in. Okay, so there's my wind. I clicked update and we're on the wrong runway, so that doesn't help. There we go. Headwind of 3, tailwind, crosswind 0, 22 degrees. There's all those numbers. There's the 2997. And we're going flaps 30. Let's compute. Remember, VREF plus 5. So take 5 off that number. What do you got? 142. 149. So we'll hit about 150. 150. Like I said, 55 to 50 will be what we're coming in on. Probably by, what was that on the chart? Camzo. So, oops. And landing distance. Our actual will be 6,625 feet on an 8,800 foot runway. Folks, that's great. Leaving us about 22-ish 100 feet of runway. Take it all the time. Okay. So now we have our approach brief complete. Once we're on the ground, we'll taxi to stand 13, which if, well, we'll look at the charts and see. Okay, so you can see 150 is right in the middle. I'm sorry, right here. So like I said, about an 8, since we don't have a glide slope, if we set it to 800 feet a minute, we'll be pretty close to that 2.96 glide path. See how that works? You're kind of interpolating between 733 and, you know, some kind of stabbing it as best I can in the middle. Okay, let me hide this. All right, so we're going to land. We're figuring right in this area, folks, is where we're going to exit. So we're going to come down Charlie to Delta. Coming up Delta, we'll turn in here, and 13 is right there. That's where we'll park it. And just so you all are aware, we are on the actual arrival to Dallas. Coming up the slide. And our descent is now 48 miles ahead of us. So, with that, we've got all our planning done. Let's go ahead and set, what's our first restriction here? 24,000. Oops. There we go. And we'll be on that here very shortly. Top it. One thing I kind of like Airbus over Boeing. Okay, you know, you have TD, that's great. Here's what I kind of wish: you combined the two. Okay, TD and that hockey stick they use in Airbus, I wish the two would combine, a bigger visual for you. All right, now you're going, Mike, you haven't set any frequencies. Again, RNAV, we don't have to, but I am going to real quick on Sky Vector. Actually, you know what? Real quick, we've got a couple seconds here. Okay. Let's see how Sky Vector does. It loves to do this of late. Okay, let's put our flight plan in. Okay, and the flight plan goes like this. Now, really neat chart. This is a VFR. Basically what they've done is taken all the sectionals in the United States and put them together. There's some overlap issues, yes, but overall it's a solid map. Whereas if I went to the Dallas-Fort Worth chart, we may not be on it. Look at that. It's right. I mean, if we were over here, we wouldn't be on it. So it's a really neat chart. What I'm wanting to see is we'll go world high, world low. And usually below 18,000 feet is world low. Above is world high. Or your en route high charts are 18 and above. 18 and below your en route low. Okay, so Dallas. Okay, so Cowboy 16.2. So again, another way to show my flight plan. All right, go ahead and get rid of this. So 16.2, oops, that's down here, sorry folks. Now I really like this radio. I'll show you how to get to it here in a second. It's 1620. It looks complicated, but it's really super simple. If, for instance, we were going to run an ILS, there it is. GLS, there it is. And yes, I've come across these with this plane. Matter of fact, Vegas was my first introduction. That's when I started liking this panel. So I really do like this. And then VO1. All right, so 1620. All right. Okay, we're getting real close to top of descent. Now there's a couple of ways to initiate the top of descent. Go figure, right? Always is. Now, you could level change. You could click here. Or, depending on the Boeing aircraft, you may have a VNAV button here. Okay? So, depending on the plane, you may have climb, cruise, descent. Great. If you have descent, you're going to go there. So, click VNAV, go to your descent page. A lot of people run into trouble. I've watched several streams and the guys do not know how to set the transition. Where is it? It's so simple. It is. It's just like a snake biting at you right now. It's bite, bite. Right here, folks. Forecast. Transition, and then you set your winds, or there's on some you can actually have the winds set for you. But you just set it right there. 180, if it's 8,000. US, it's simple. Europe and anywhere else, folks, it can be very complicated. We push descent. Look at that, it says descent now. Who'd have figured it'd be that simple? And in Boeing, it is. Airbus, you know, we pull or push, depending what you want. Here, you just click descent now. There you go. I will be right back, folks. All right, folks, I'm back with you. We're having phone troubles, and AT&T is about to lose a customer if they don't pull their head out of their butt soon. Yep, they can't start getting a service out here. they're going to have to find someone else because we're done with them. So hopefully somebody listening to the stream works for AT&T and knows you're about to lose a lot of customers, because I'm not going to hold punches. So you're going to get told exactly how horrible AT&T is. So hang on a second. I'll be right back while we're descending. All right, folks, we're descending. Let's see.
1,000 to go.
Let me see where we are on the chart here. Okay, we're going to continue to 9,000. Okay, so let's go over here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have started our descent. I have turned the signal sign back on. I'd like to ask you to please return to your seats. Buckle up for the short duration of the flight. We really appreciate you choosing to fly with Southwest this morning. Hope you enjoy the trip. Have a great week, please, and I can see you again real soon.
All right. Should be on the ground here, folks, in about 10-15 minutes. So okay. Oh, and while we got a couple of seconds here, I did mean to show you this, folks. How you get the radio that you see me using, basically go to Home, click one over to Configure, Systems, right here, Multi-Mode Receiver. Make it yes and you'll have it. Oh, and of course, don't forget to save.
Eighteen 18,000 feet.
Okay, so we've got off transition. All right, let's quickly check our minimums. 441. Okay. Are you able to use your phone, office phone? Well, if you want the doctor, I'd go that route then. And then we'll start looking for a new carrier. All right, folks. Yeah, like I said, AT&T, you're about to lose customers. So if you work for them, you might want to tell them to pull their head out of there. Because I'm going to tell every friend I have out there to get away from them. And it isn't a couple, folks. All right, folks, we are reaching the slowdown point, and we'll be approximately 40 miles right now. I'm not sure if that's correct or if that's along our route showing right here for the RNAV. So,
Thousand to go.
10,000 feet.
all right, so let's get the landing lights on. Okay, so we're at 9,000, coming up to slant, and we need 2,300 by Binay. Binay, B-I-N-A-Y, right here on the chart. All right, so let's come over slant, and then we're going to start our descent. Actually, I lied. We're going to start now. Okay, we're going to start our descent by clicking out this time. Altitude intervene. And 1,200 feet a minute, maybe a little tighter. We'll watch our speeds. Alright folks, I hope you all have enjoyed the ride into here. Like I said, if time's permitting, we'll kind of see what's going on with my wife here before we try to strike up to Houston. But we'll see. If things permit, we will continue on to Houston. If not, we'll terminate here. Things are in flux. I know you've heard some of it. We'll kind of see. All right, let's go ahead and go into a sterile cockpit now. Okay, let's get the auto brake set. B card is set. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. I just realized. We'll go 30. So we're looking at 143, 148 again, about 150. So we're still in the same numbers. Look at that. Pretty much a clear sky here. We'll balk at it a little, but not much. And that's not an X-plane thing. That's a forecaster on the ground calling it. Oh, come on. There we go. So we'll kind of keep an eye here. But still, no ceiling issues. Definitely 10 miles of visibility. We're not worried about being below minimums, folks. Okay, altitudes are set. Minimum set. Flaps will begin to be deployed here shortly, and speed brakes will be armed. We'll be needing them here soon. I think from a peak over, we're going to begin slowing to 180. Matter of fact, we'll go ahead and start that. Okay. Go. Brakes are out. But again, hope you all enjoyed. If you did, folks, and you're new to the stream, like Flying Glider did, hit that follow button.
1,000 to go.
Love to have you on our next stream, folks. And part of
2,500.
if you're on YouTube, folks, take a look down below, click Twitch, and on our About page, you'll see our flight schedule. Join us, folks. We'd love to have you, those that watch us over at YouTube. So, but for now, we're about to come on board here to Dallas. Let's make sure I haven't missed anyone coming up. DFW is up there, not our tower. All right, we are in range of flaps, so let's start them. Should have speed brakes armed. Go to 5. All right, folks, coming up on 23. Ooh, I think, you know what? I think it said 3,300. Nope, it did say 2,300. Then we're going to drop to 2,000. Here we go. Let's go ahead and come on down. I got a feeling we may actually be able to couple this one. Not going to rely on it. All right, let's start looking out there. Let's go to my new camera view. See a runway yet, although I'm starting to wonder if that might be it. And slow to 160. Speed brakes armed, brakes set, on to flaps 10. I got a feeling that's my runway right there, folks.
Gear down.
Let's give it a try. No joy. Wait. Nope. No joy. I think I chose wrong, folks. I'm on the left side. Sidestep.
1,000.
And we are stable. And
Approaching
planning to land. 13 right. Dallas
500.
Field. Southwest 846. Final runway 13 right.
400.
Stable landing.
300. 200. 100. 100.
Those white marks are what we're
50.
aiming.
40. 30.
A little long.
20. 10.
Knots.
We'll get off at the next one. All right, it seems like my wife got the call in. We'll find out here while we're at the gate. And Dallas Love Field. Southwest 846 is off runway 13 right taxi to the gate. Welcome to Dallas Love, folks. All right, we're slowly getting everything lined out here, folks. All right. Transponder. Okay, radar off. And we'll get the terrain off over here. All right. Hope you enjoyed that, folks. I sure did. That actually felt like a good landing. Although lately, when it feels like a good landing, it comes back to tell me, I don't think so. So we'll take a look here as we come up Charlie for Delta. So again, if you're new to the channel, like what you're seeing and hearing, hey, we'd love you to smash follow here on Twitch. All that costs you folks is an email letting you know that we are going live. Over on YouTube, we don't stream live there. So if you want to catch a live stream, look to the bottom. As you're watching this video, you'll see all the notes. Click Twitch. You'll see a little tab that says, to our page. Click About, and in there you'll see our flight schedule for the week. We only have one more this week. But I'm trying to get a little bit more proactive in getting a couple weeks out, but work is starting to bite me in the butt again, trying to think of doing that. So I did that last year, and I just gave up. And that's why I went to the weekly schedules, and even that got challenging. So, with a lot of canceled flights. More than probably the real Southwest ever does in a year. No, just kidding. Sorry, folks, couldn't resist. Alright, so let's make our turn here, because we're parking gate 13. And we'll come on into the alley here. And let's go ahead and turn these lights off. There's our gate. Wow, they got an extra gate that doesn't show up on mine. Oh, that's because I'm turning at 15, not 13. Ah! I see you marshalers saying, get over this one, not that one. Even though I'm pretty sure I didn't hurt anybody, because there isn't anybody here. But I did see one down the main concourse there, so. Alright, let's check it out. See, should have brakes. The other thing I kind of miss are the messages here, folks. And I know that's not a 737 thing, but I kind of like those. Especially for someone like me that flies way too many different type of planes. It just helps, folks. It really does. Alright, we're in the blocks. EPU is on. Generators, going to generators. Okay. Go ahead and shut down one of the engines. Get the bleed on. Shut down the other. All right, folks, welcome. Welcome in to Love Field. Go to home. Here, put the chocks in. Get the door open. Okay, everything shows opened. All right, we are in the blocks. All right, folks, let's first things first, unload. And I'm liking I just now got wind of what we did, folks. Oh, I am liking this. And we'll be there in a moment. Just getting a couple things taken care of here. I said okay. And come up here. Unload. Now unload. Okay, there we go. All right. Wow. Let's just take. Oh, what did I just do? There we go. Oh, so that was the airport. I was like, what the heck did I do? All right. Wow. Okay. All right, folks, there we are, gate 13. Passengers disembarking. I'm not hitting that button again. Off they go into the wild blue yonder. Flying high over the clouds. I don't know how the song goes after that. Been 30 years since I had to know it, and even then I didn't have to know it. All right, there you go, folks, an empty plane. Let me show one little toy off on the plane that's kind of neat. I haven't really seen a good use of it anywhere. Well, maybe. Is it? The heck is it? Well, they get rid of it? Stand by, folks. I think they got rid of it. Oh my God. Or it's an add-on. I'll have to look for it. Well, that stinks. What I was going to show you is that you could turn the cameras on here and see the galley area. And that used to be default. Real quick, I'm going to do a quick look for it, folks. I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking for it. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Screw it. We'll look for it another day. Wow, that's what it was. Is I could look at using this screen here, folks. I could see the galley area just like the real pilots could. Or am I thinking of a different plane now? Wow, that's what you get for flying too many. All right, let me get up here, shut lights down. Okay, we're good there. Fuel pump's coming off. All right, folks, now we're set up. Okay. All right, so let's pull up some toolkits. Sorry for that. And then we're going to take a small break. Very, very short one. I'm going to determine if we have time here. We'll go from there. Let me get some toolkit up over here. All right. So we click the flight we want to check here. Go to View Details, Full Landing Report. And what this is going to do is quite frankly, show us how we did. Now, I'm expecting this to be way off. It's not. It actually aligned with us. I don't know why. Usually, I don't know. Anyway, but it's going to be very hard to explain things on the runway, so that's fine. The threshold is right where this blue dot is, because it's so dark here, folks. I can't really help delineate this for you. Seeing if I pull out, no, it's not helping. So this is a displaced threshold, so you can taxi down, take off, but you're not supposed to land here. You're supposed to land up here. All right, now where the green dot ends up, that's where you actually landed. And in my case, 1,700 feet down the runway, about 11.5 feet off the center line to the right. We're going to try to replay this, try to see how well we did, how well we didn't do, all those good things. But let's first, aircraft, we had at a pitch of 5 landing. I think that's pretty good. I think 6 is, 3 to 6, I think is what you're aiming for. 180 feet a minute. It's been a while since I've seen that. I like seeing that. And speed, 6 knots slower than VREF 136. So, but we had a good, I mean, that felt really good, folks. That was a good landing. Let me finish up here with Mac Air real quick. They got us at 250. I'll take it. Stop. Okay. File. Okay. Okay. All right. So overall, that's a good landing. Now, again, here's Love Field. So we came off, I believe it was right here. And we taxied, it might have been here. But anyways, either this intersection or this intersection. Taxied back, down and in, and we're parked right in here. We're right here's 13. Alrighty, let's go ahead and close this and remove this. Alright, folks, that was a great flight. I have to admit, I'm going to go ahead and start buttoning this plane back. Oh. Shut the APU off. Hopefully that's not going to be a problem. We're about to find out. I've never done that. Oops, I usually try to leave the APU on. Alright, and yeah, she's definitely shut down. Zeroed out, yeah. Alright, let's see what happens. What the heck? I was right, I closed the door, that's why you heard that. And I did pull the jetway away, right? Oh, that's too freaky. Don't know how this is going to react, folks. All right, we're going in reverse. Oh, yeah, I forgot to come off VATSIM. Thank you there for that automatically doing that. And let me clear this off. And the survey says, oh, it moved. Will it move us? Maybe not, because I think the JHAWKs are in. Nope, I think we might be crashing to desktop. I thought I did to JHAWKs. Okay, this is the first time I've ever done it this way. Well, we'll do it this way, folks. It'll give us an idea where we got off at least. Okay, we were at the other intersection. Okay. I'll get you really sick. All right, while it resets, let me grab some music. And hopefully it'll reset before we land. I'm going to have to say that's one of my best side steps. That's why I really hope it resets. There we go. See, here's that displace. This is the aiming point, folks. You're aiming for visually to touch down at there. But you have until the end of the landing zone. Here we go. I don't know. I think that looked pretty greased to me. Greased that one in, I think. That was pretty good. I'm going to go back out. I'd love to do from the turn in. Give you a little reference. I really hate when it does this. But it does. All sims have, you know, that refresh rate. Hey, we'll just set right here and see if we're in a good place to watch it come right over our head. That looks pretty good, that turn to final there, folks. And right here is the threshold. You have these long arrows, which are your displays. This points to where the landing starts. And it's not meant for aircraft to line up and wait. Wow, that looked really good, folks. folks, I think we've seen some pretty good approaches here. So what we're going to do is put this back in the bay as we freak out again at that. All right, let's get under the external power real quick. Get the doors open. All right, folks. I want to say thank you for flying with Mike. Folks, it has been a pleasure. We've seen a lot of fun, a lot of troubles. And been quite interesting. But anyway, that right there is the best. All right, folks. Again, I had the jetway. All right. Hope you all have a great day. I'm hoping to continue this, but we'll let you know here in a moment. Alright folks, I'm interrupting the music, I know, but that we usually use to close out the stream. We are going to close it out. Not sure if my wife needs a trip to the hospital for a problem she had with her hand from last week. So we'll try to fly the Houston flight later today. If not, I'm not worried. We'll get it here one day. So life takes precedent over the stream anytime. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Hope you all have a blessed and super Monday, and we'll talk to you again on Thursday. God bless. We'll talk to you then.